My name is B Africana, and this is my basic pattern. This is my basic block pattern. As you can look at it, this is the front, this is the back. Take a very good look at my front. The front I have from here to here is my bust point. This is my waist. Of course, you see that at the waist, and that is the hip. And then this point here is the epes. You can see my dart is underneath it. And what I want is the patterns we are going to work with. It's going to be a pattern that has that a side bust dart. So if you pattern or you freehand in the beginning, as in when you start, the patterns are the same. So if I freehand, it is the same thing I'm going to have on my fabric. So when I'm sewing, I'm just going to sew out the dart, sew out the dart. If I pattern, this is the same thing I'm going to have. So in the beginning, there's no difference actually. It is when you start going advanced that it starts becoming different. That you now have to introduce some principles that make pattern making. That's what a lot of schools don't understand. They think it's just it ends here. It doesn't. But this is a very good start. If you do this week, you can actually work very well with it. So what I need you to do now, I need you to have a pattern like this. So no, you can't use lining. Please use paper. You have from your shoulder to your bust, you measure that. From your shoulder to your waist, you measure that. And this, I'm not going to start teaching you this is how you do your basic bodies. No. I'm expecting the way that you do your basic bodies, we're going to work with that. The only thing I'm going to have to do later is maybe pinpoint a few things for you, but for now this is what we've got. So this is my back. My back is you can see the lines are the same: bust, waist. I have my shoulder and my neck. My back neck, of course, is higher than my front neck. This is the basic. This is the basic in both in pattern making, both in freehand. This is it. So what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to sort of add the bust dart here, then I'll show you. Because I'm holding my camera, I'm not able to do it so that you see me do it, but it's actually very easy. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to use my ruler and then sort of mark a line here to the bust. It won't get up to the bust point because your dart shouldn't get up to the bust point. So I'm going to stop somewhere here. I'm going to do the same thing somewhere here. Then the difference between my back and my front is actually 1.5 inches, which is my front pattern is 1.5 inches more than my back pattern, meaning my bust dart is going to be 1.5 inches. That's how much I'm going to take out. Okay, I hope it makes sense to you. It should, because this is not this is a very simple way to do this. Then if you're a pattern maker and then you know the other method of having your bust dart added to your pattern, please do that. I've simplified this to make it easy for us to be able to understand whatever level you are. I'm going to sort of mark this in and then I'll show you what it looks like. Before that, let me at least show my face a little. My name is B Africana. I'm a badass designer. Okay, this is my front pattern. You see what I did here? I added a piece of paper to the side where we'll have the dart, because I can't actually leave the dart like that. So then you see what I marked here. I sort of marked this arrow shape to the side there. That's actually called a dart roof. So I'm going to cut out the shape, and then you need that, because if this pattern is cut, let's say I cut this on fabric, I want to sew, I'll have to be able to see. When you see that, you know it's telling you that there's a dart there. So that's what I'm going to do. By the time I cut it, I will now let you know what I would have cut it and let you know what it looks like. By the time I cut it and fold, my front and my back pattern will be the same, which is when you're joining the sides, it actually becomes same. I'm holding this so I can't cut it while you look at it. I'm going to just have to cut and then I'll show you what it looks like. My name is Be Africana, of course. I'm doing this video in bits. That's why you see me keep saying it, but I think I'm going to have to join it together or something. I don't know. Let me see how it goes. Be Africana here. I have, this is my pattern, my basic pattern, the pattern that we did before. This is our working pattern, like I said. This is the front. The front here I have, this is my my bust dart, the bust dart that we marked in. This point here is my epes, you know. The epes is the bust point. So what I did here is that I marked a line from up connecting my dart, you know. Then I have a choice. I can decide to stop here or cut through. You must have seen some ready-made dresses where your princess seam ends here, you know. But I'm going to you can stop here, you can cut through. I'm going to cut through because I think I want to cut through. So everything is the same with the pattern that you've done before. This is my dart roof. That's supposed to be, when you're looking at your pattern, you see that, you know that you're supposed to sew in the dart. If you're just sewing in, this one we're going to cut out. So what I'm going to do now is to cut. In cutting, in princess seam, I'm going to eliminate this my dart. Eliminate as in I'm going to cut it out, you know. So I'm going to have a seam here, this cut out, and then I'll close this. In closing this, I would have transferred my darts this way. The technique we are using here is actually called dart transfer in fashion, you know. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm holding my phone, so I'm going to cut through. I tried having somebody hold it for me. The volume was bad, you know. I'm going to find a way around it eventually. A lot of you know I'm actually new at this. I've been teaching for a long time, but this is the first time I'm actually teaching on WhatsApp. I know I'm going to have fun doing it. You know. So this is me. I've cut out. As I've cut out, now look at it. You see, it's a straight line. My dart's gone. You know, it's a straight line. My dart's gone. If you leave it like this, you're not going to get a very good fit because the body is actually curvy. So I'm going to fold this in. Fold it. See what I have here. Then when you're folding, see what I have already. When you're folding, you notice that this place is actually sort of not relaxing. You just clip into it. As you clip into it, this is it. That is the beauty of working with paper, because you actually have room to do a lot of things that you can't do if you're directly on fabric, you know. So this is it. You see, if I put this close together now, you look at it and see. This is my dart that I've transferred from here to here. This is that has gone out. Now the only thing that's remaining here is that while cutting out, I'm going to have half-inch allowance here, half-inch allowance here, all the way from up to down. If not, everything will just be perfect, you know. Be Africana here. I thought I should explain this. You see how this is. In fact, this part of the bust, this is actually contoured. Now, this is not. You can't use this for a breast cup and all that. No, because this is not very fitted. This is a contoured princess seam. You know. It gives you have more fitting in this and all that, but please, this is not a princess, and this is not a princess bust cut. That's not what I just explained. I just thought I should make that clear. Then as we go. We're going to get to that, but this is not it. I thought I should chip that in, you know. Be Africana here. This is the pattern that we did before. What I did here is to cut at the waist. Then this is my front, this is my back. I now removed the dart of my back. There's a dart here. I eliminated it and cut through, you know. So what I'm going to do now is that in cutting out on fabric, I'm going to add sewing allowance to this, sewing allowance to this, sewing allowance to the other one, sewing allowance there, you know. This is of course, you see my zip allowance is marked in, and you would have noticed that my zip allowance actually sort of goes in to fit my back, because that's how curvy the back is. So I'm taking this out. We're going to talk about the peplum here now. The style I have in mind, it's a peplum, because we're just starting out. I don't want to start with something too complicated. I also don't want to start with something too simple, because I'm planning on wearing this. I like this fabric, so if it's too simple, I'm not going to wear it. So that's why I'm doing this. The up is taken care of. We've done the skirt. This is the top, you know, though we didn't do the skirt in this class. Okay, so this is my peplum. It's straight now. This is straight. This I've already cut off. The sign I have here, this sign tells me that this part is on fold, because by the time I pieces it now, it's going to be sort of all confusing. Let me focus on this, because I already took this apart. So let me explain this. The thing is, we at the top, we already did that transfer, so I'm going to talk about that transfer here again now. This is straight. I only have my dart here now. Let's say I want to do a very simple peplum. It's not a peplum that's too flat, just something like a little bit open. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer my dart down. You know, if you're in our Facebook group, you've seen some of my illustrations. You know, I do that a lot, so I like to explain it here, because when you illustrate, I really don't have the chance to do that. The thing is, this is my zip part here, because this is the back part and all that. This can move. If this were the center, this were the part that's unfold, it would have been immovable. I don't know if that makes sense. So this can actually move. So I'm going to use a technique in sewing we call slash and spread method. So I would I'm going to this to help me hold it down. I'm going to just cut into my dart. You know, I've cut a bit here now to a point where it can allow me. So what I'm going to do now is to eliminate my dart, as in take it away. So the thing is, as I'm closing it, it's opening down. Look at it. I still have a little here, so I'm going to make sure I eliminate it up. And the part that you're concerned about eliminating is actually here, not this down part. This is where this is the waist, so this down sort of opens out. So as I close, my down is open. You know, this is, and there are some styles that this is just all you need. You know, this, I just took my dart down. Then this other part that I already did, I already took out my dart. This part that I already took out my dart. You know, I already eliminated my dart here. So what I'm going to do here, since my dart is already gone, is to bring these two together. This part is my center front. It doesn't move, because when I'm cutting this on fabric, is going to be on fold at the edge of a folded fabric. So if you move, you're going to have issues with it. So this is going to be it's like this. You make sure that it gets very close, then you use a sellotape to seal it together. What I just did now is I actually just took my dart down, took my darts and closed my up back together. This already eliminated my dart, so you see that the opening I have here is not much because my dart is already gone. But this, the dart was still there, so I just sort of sent it down. You see the difference? This is more than this because I still had my dart there. This, my dart is already taken out. That's why I don't have a lot of volume. This is I've transferred my dart down, and then the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to sort of give it another cut because this peplum is not as open as I would like. You have to forgive me here. I'm using one hand to hold my phone and one hand to cut. So I've cut into it. When you cut, you get to the tip and stop because you're allowing it to just hang. If I break it now, it's going to fall apart. We don't want that. So this is it. You know, this is the opening that I have here now. I think it's actually looking nice. Then if I want more, I can just open this to allow the tip to hang and open it sort of. See what I have here now. I have a basic peplum that I can work with. Now when I'm styling, I first of all get here. This space now, this space, it's I've already this is how I want it to be. You know, as I've opened it up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use paper to fill under here. So be Africana here. This is my peplum pattern. What I did is I slashed and spread the front like I showed, then I did the back the same thing. I eliminated my dart, which is I removed the dart to enable me spread it out. Then I actually moved this way a bit because I don't want, this is the zip, I don't want it to be flat behind me. That's why if you watch there's a move this way to allow it open out. So this is my basic peplum pattern. This is what we're going to be working with. So any peplum that we're going to style, we're going to have to go from here to this is our working peplum pattern now. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to sort of have to complete my front pattern. This pattern now is one part. So if I'm folding on fabric, it's on fold. But the style I want to do is a sort of an unequal peplum. So I'm going to have to cut this to style it. I'm just hoping that up to this point it makes sense. I have to know it makes sense before we can actually start sewing. You know. Be Africana here. I have this is the pattern. I used the other pattern that I slashed and sprayed and duplicated. You know, that pattern, it has become my working pattern. So I had to get out this one. So this is a smooth one. So if I had brought this, you wouldn't have known what I did to get to this point. So I've cut this on fold. If I open it now, I have two here. So this is my center front. You know, that's the side, this is the side. This is if I'm doing just an ordinary pattern, an ordinary peplum pattern, I can actually do this, but that's not what I'm doing. I want to style it. This is the back. The back is one because by the time I cut two, I've actually gotten it double. So I'm going to start with the front here. Let me put my pattern width. This is my center front. Now I want to have a sort of I want to have a sort of seam here. I'm going to have it layered, sort of, as in it's going to be not layered, it's going to be worn. I don't want it to, it's going to be worn, but this part will be longer. This is the center front, so since I have allowance here, this should be like at my dart, you know, so I have a line there. I'm holding my phone and doing this, so usually not easy for me to do. So I'm going to, let me just try and mark it. I'm going to mark this. That's my straight line. This is, it's here that I'm going to have my line, or this part now is going to be longer than here. I don't want to, since it's not a native fabric, I don't want to sort of join it. It's sort of an English style, so so to speak. So I'm going to, I've added this paper here. You know, if you've seen my illustrations, I actually do this a lot, just that they have been in tiny form. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going to put the paper like this. So I'm not putting it exactly this place, because I'm going to want here to sort of come out a bit. So immediately I'm here like this, I'm going to take my sellotape and then seal this part so that it doesn't move on me. It didn't get to this place. So that when I cut here, I'm going to put here. So what I'm going to do now is I'll come down like this, then I think I'm looking at 1 2 3 4, I'm looking at like 4 inches, then I'll go back this way. You have to forgive what I'm doing, because I'm actually using I'm holding my phone with one hand and doing this, you know. So this is my line. This is where I've gotten to now. I'm going to have to fill these parts up to this point. So as I think I like this, I'm cutting it out now. I'm actually cutting just here. This is the beauty of pattern making. You can actually play with a lot. Sincerely, you can play with a lot. So this is, I've put a piece of paper that way to end there. See what I did. I'm going to sellotape that and end there. My side is still going to match with my back side like this. So this is very important. If this is more than this, that means I'm going to have something longer here. I don't want that. I want the side to match. This is where I want my style to be. Then if I do this, it's going to have this style, but it's going to be a plain peplum then with this. I don't know if I'm good with this. I'm going to just sellotape it well and then think about it. Then I like because it's going to be a skirt and blouse, you know, and I like drama. Let it have a little bit of something, you know what I mean. So let me sellotape this, then I'll now show you the next step. See what I've done now. I decided to show this in case this is new to you, you've not done this before and all that. So what I did is I'm using brown paper here. I place I'm using yellow paper. I place the paper underneath my pattern, and then I will now use sellotape to seal it. Now you can as well, if newspaper is what you have, you can use another, but as a professional I have to use another color so that you see what I've added to it. So this is what I like. This is how I want it to be, because I'm still going to style this. But if you want, I don't know, I'm believing that most of you, maybe this technique is very new to you, that's why I'm taking it this step, so you put your sellotape there, and then you can now cut it out. So what you do here, it's you sort of the best way to actually do it is, after you've done this, you sort of use ink and mark. As you mark, you cut it out. It's better to mark, because if you cut out straight, you might actually make a mistake or something. So you mark, and if the stage the stage is much, you can use a ruler to mark it out. Then you cut out. Let me see if I can cut to let you have an idea of what it's like. It's actually very simple. It's just it's a technique that you don't have to be a pattern. You use pattern, or you do this to do this. What I've discovered is that, I don't know, I like doing my peplums like this. I don't freehand my peplum. There are some things I freehand. Peplum isn't one of them, because the kind of fit I get here, I can't get it anywhere else. And of course, those of you that know me very well, you know that I was sewing freehand. I did freehand for 8 years. Then I've been patterning for 9 years. The kind of clothes that I get, I bring out when I pattern, is not the same thing when I freehand. So if you freehand, that's all you do. You can actually sort of pick these techniques and then mix it with your work. Because the age that we are going into now, because of the internet, the times that we are in, clothes are so changing. There are some things that you just can't freehand. What I'm asking is, you open your mind and then just learn a few things. So yes, I'm going to have to pattern my peplum. This is basic. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the back. The only difference with the back and the front is this: my center front doesn't move. This way moves. The back, I can move both ways. Depends on the how flay I want it to be. Which is what I'm trying to say is, I this is what we did. We eliminated our dart, and it's like this. So I can actually decide to cut through the dart. Let me put this to keep it from moving. I can actually decide to cut through my dart and open it to allow me move my back, So, but if I move only here, this is like what I did here. My one side move, which is to say, at the center of my back is going to be straight when you look at it.